Our levels are good. Levels are good. Everything is good.
I think we're good.
Everything's good. Speaking.
All right, get your green juice ready for some dope content on mind, body, and spirit health. This is The Naked Healer.
Hey everyone, welcome to The Naked Healer. Today I'm here with a great friend, mentor, someone I hold near and dear to my heart, Genesis Samadi, who is a high vibrational life coach, spiritual teacher, mom, and what else can I add to that list?
Oh man, spoken word artist, doula, and businesswoman.
Doula, businesswoman. That's a lot of hats.
Yeah.
All right, so tell me, what is Bliss Life all about? Because that is your company.
Right.
Tell us about what Bliss Life is.
So Bliss Life is a trifecta conglomerate, right? There's Bliss Life Tantra, Bliss Life Travel, and Bliss Life Realty, right? So dealing with mind, body, spirit. The spiritual aspect of Tantra, travel, the physical self, you being able to transport yourself to different meridian points on the planet. And Realty is your sanctuary, your sacred space is so important. So Bliss Life is teaching people how to live life by design and not by default.
Okay, so I come to Bliss Life and my life is in shambles. It's chaotic. I'm not making the kind of money I want to make. I'm not meeting the kind of men I want to meet. And I'm not doing what I feel like I could be doing in my career. How are you going to help me through Bliss Life?
Okay. So in that situation, that would be the intake process, right? So I'm naturally empathic. So I'm going to pick up just through a conversation with you or being in your energy grid, I'm going to pick up where you are in life, kind of what's going on, what may be bothering you, what you're doing good. If you're excited in your life, I'm going to pick that up naturally. But from there, I do an intake of what is your date of birth? When were you born? Where were you born? What is your astrological blueprint? Right? That's going to tell me a lot about you, what you've evolved through, what you're going through now, and the trajectory of where you're going. And it's also going to give me, it's a treasure box of, you know, tools that you have and little secret things about you. So if you're a Virgo, right, like we are, then I'm going to know Wednesday is your day of communication, right? Navy blue is one of your power colors. 4 is your day. So if you have a meeting where you're going into wanting a loan, or if you're wanting to have a consultation with a client, or whatever the case may be, something that's important date that you're setting, an interview for a job, I can help you set the deck, set the chessboard to where it falls into your favor. Navy blue is your color. We're going to wear navy blue. 4 is your day. We're going to set the meeting on the 4th or the 4th hour. We are going to use the universal time of, is it the Jupiter hour of expansion? Is it the Mercury hour of communication? So we can say we're going to meet on Wednesday, which is the day ruled by Mercury and communication. And we're going to set it at the universal Jupiter hour. So we're talking about expansion. So if it's a career, if it's a new job that you want, 9 a.m., you know, on the 4th, navy blue suit at a certain time on a certain day, we're setting the deck up to win in our favor. We're making the universe bend into our will of what it is that we want. And so, you know, it's just giving you tools. It's setting the chessboard the way you want it. And Bliss Life is about living life by design, not by default, right? You don't walk outside and it's raining without an umbrella. You're prepared for the day. It's to prepare you for the world, for what it is that you want.
Okay. And it sounds like the intake is really in depth. It sounds like you're going through everything.
Yeah, I find out your blood type, right? Because your blood type is very important to what you're eating, your astrological information. I need to know the blueprint of who you are, where you lived, where you grew up, mother and father in the home. What was your first experience and interaction with love? What is love to you, right? That's going to tell me how you love on yourself, how you love the people around you, what's going on in your world. So that's the intake process to give me the blueprint to draw where it is we're going to go.
And I don't think most people think about these things on their daily basis.
No,
not at all, right?
Yeah.
So it's like this, for the first time in their life, they're going to be thinking about these things.
Right.
So it's kind of like you're having them dig really deep into their self to find out who they really are.
Right.
And I can tell you that most people are walking around and don't know who they are.
Most people are walking around, don't know who they are, don't know their purpose. and aren't trying to find out, right? No. So Bliss Life is really about putting people on the path of their purpose. Who are you? One of the things that I say to my clients and to other people is, we're not put here to work. We're not put here for a 9 to 5. We're not put here to sit in a car, to be in traffic. We're not even put here to make money. We're put here for the exchange of energy, for the exchange of connection and relationship, to love and to be loved. And so if you were in the tribe, if you were in the village, what is your contribution to the tribe? Meaning, what is your natural, innate ability? Is it that you're a seer, a feeler, a doer, someone of action? Are you a conductor, a gatherer? Do you bring people together? What is your contribution to the tribe? And you have to remove the worldly things, social media, Netflix, conversations, with people that are of no substance, toxic things that you're thinking about and putting into your body. You have to make a disciplined, sacrificial decision to remove some of those things to get to the core of who you are.
I think that I just had an epiphany while you're talking, and it ties into the name of your company. I just had this epiphany that I feel like so many people live a life of misery when they have no idea what their purpose is.
Yes.
And because that's going to guide your work, how you earn your living.
Right.
It's going to guide who you surround yourself with.
Right.
It's going to guide who you date. It's going to guide what you eat.
Your self-worth.
Just everything from the cellular level on up to everything.
Right.
It's going to guide where your focus is in the day.
Right.
So I think that it's so valuable what you do and helping people to find that.
Yes.
Because I think there's people walking around in their 50s, in their 40s, in their 30s who don't know.
And that is why sometimes the younger one is truly the elder in spirit. And you can't always go to someone who's older to you for information because everyone can't speak into your life.
So tell me about your practice. How does your practice look? Because I see this, the work of your manifestation. I see the work of what you do. And it's all around me. It's in the way you speak. It's in the car that you drive. It's in your beautiful home. It's in the work that you do for a living. It's in you. It's in your body. It's in your beautiful face. It's in your hair. It's in everything, the jewelry that you adorn yourself with. What does your practice look like? What does your daily, weekly, monthly, yearly practice look like?
You know what? Bliss Life is all about being in love with you. And I'm in such a good place in my life. Give thanks. Because I've done the work for so long. I've had knowledge of self since I was 21. True knowledge of self. Of me studying Dr. York and Dr. Black and Dr. Africa and, Queen of Fu. I've been doing the work for a very long time. And so, but it goes back to my childhood. My grandmother, so I'm Black, Puerto Rican, and Indian. My grandmother, who was Indian, was a medicine woman. She also was a poet. She also played the piano. She also had twins. So I am an embodiment of her. I'm a spoken word artist. I play the piano. I play the violin. And I had twins.
This is something ancestral. What about the people who have none of this in their background, in their heritage, in their legacy?
But they have something. They've just have to tap into.
That's it.
Right?
Yes.
And so for me, that goes into purpose. I've known who I am and I've known my purpose my whole life. Right? I was very intuitive as a child. Being the youngest in my family, I was always the one who spoke for the family. I was always the one that everyone came to me for advice or counsel. So I went to school for psychology because it was natural to kind of speak through people's lives because I had discernment. I had natural intuition. They're doing this documentary on Dr. Cleo, Mrs. Cleo. Call me now. Listen, I ran up my mother's phone bill.
I need to watch that. I need to go see
I ran up my mother's phone bill.
Did you call her?
What?
Oh, gosh.
I was like, listen, I need to know this astrology reading I just did, was it right? Like, I need confirmation. Am I going to be famous? I want to be Whitney Houston.
She's such an icon. Oh, my gosh.
When I was little. And so, yes, I'm calling her. So I'm saying I've had this nurturing. I've been who I am my whole life. I haven't wanted to be a doctor, nurse, astronaut. I've wanted to be a healer. I saw myself as the older woman with long gray locks. I cut my locks a couple years ago. Long gray locks in the islands, in this home, on the porch, rocking back and forth with the ocean, with people coming to me for healing.
That sage woman.
Yes. And I've been looking for her my whole life until Spirit said, a Genesis, you are her.
Already.
You are her. And so coming into the fruition of who I am, Bliss Life is about living a purpose-driven life, knowing who you are, knowing your contribution to the tribe, knowing why you're here, and then stating that to the universe so it bends to your will. So those rituals and consistency of metrics of what it is you're wanting for your life are very important. So for me, Sunday is my day to do ritual.
That's your holy day.
That's my holy day. So this is the Bliss Life Sanctuary. And on Sundays, you know, I have to give back gratitude to her. Thank you for housing me. Thank you for sheltering me. Thank you for this beautiful space. Thank you for holding the resonance of who I am and reverberating that back to me so that I don't fall into forgetfulness, right? And so I go to my altar, I give her fresh flowers, fresh food, fresh incense, clean up the home around it, and set my intentions for the week. Set my intentions for myself. Put up those barriers of protection against people that I'm coming in contact with who see the light and may want to dim it. So whatever it is that I'm having to work on, Sunday is my day.
That's your day.
That I set my protection and my energy for the week. And so anything you do ritualistic means you're giving intensity to it. You're doing repetition to it. You know, more than one day a week, whatever the case may be. But you're giving energy and reciprocity to the discipline of your rituals. Yeah.
So what books are you reading right now?
Right now, I'm doubling back. Eckhart Tolle is a big author that I like. The Power of Now, I repeat it all the time. I ask other people who are in my life presently to kind of go through it with me, so that can be our dialogue.
Okay.
That can be our conversation. But right now, I'm doing The New Earth. A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. Just having it in the background of daily life and what I'm going through and absorbing intentionally and indirectly, you know, what's going on. And it's so applicable even to right now and what's going on.
Oh my gosh, yes.
With Ukraine and Russia and here and all the different changes that we're making into the next dimension, into this next paradigm that it consists of. It speaks to it. And so that's what I'm reading.
Okay. It sounds like you have a lot of rituals that you do. It sounds like living the bliss life takes work.
It's a ritualistic lifestyle.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like it, but you can see the difference between someone who's actually doing it and then those who just talk about it and they aren't doing it.
Right.
Now, how do you avoid burnout? Because I feel like even with myself, I'm always preaching to the choir. When I set my intentions and I've got an altar and I'm saying my prayers, I'm doing my meditation, my visualization, my imagination, all of that, it does get a little tiring sometimes. It becomes tiring. And
for me, it's funny because I say at 9 a.m, I may write a poem and I'm thinking, it's perfection. People are going to stand on their feet, right? Or I have an idea with my business, a new workshop or a class or something I want to speak on. And I'm like, this is the best idea at 9 a.m. By 11 a.m., I'm like, nobody wants to hear this shit. This is not a good idea. Bring it back in Genesis.
Bring it back.
Crumble it up, throw it in the trash, right? But you'll give up on yourself. You will get discouraged in the midst of this brainiac, Einstein idea. If you don't have a reflection, if you don't have a tap out. Everybody's talking about tap in. Sometimes you need to tap out.
That's right. You can't always be on.
You can't always be on.
It's impossible. And you do burn out your nerve endings like that, so.
But the key is to be a rubber band for your snap back.
That's right. Bring it on back.
To come back to... Listen, I've got things to do, right? Bring it back to your resiliency. Bring it back to your focus, your desires, your goals. Something that I like to say is you have to want the victory more than the temptation.
There you go.
Right? And that comes with sacrifice, discipline, ritual, detox, fasting. I do that a lot because it sends me to a place of clarity. When I get past day 3, when I tap into that clearness, that clarity, it's addictive. And I ride that wave. Yeah.
It is. Seeing the fruits of your labor, your mental, your spiritual labor is kind of addicting, right? It is. When you see it's working, it's like, oh shoot, I better do this more and more and more.
Yes.
So I do think there's that tipping point where it's like we give more good energy to those intentions, those rituals, those things that we have to do. And that's part of the sacrifice. Like you said, nothing comes for free.
Activated action.
That's it.
You have to move towards what it is that you
always
want.
Moving towards. Sometimes we take some time off, but we get back on, right? I have a really good question. How do you know when you've made it? How do you know when you've done enough to create a life. So let's say I've followed your path. I've done the whole Bliss Life program, and I'm a master at creation, a master at manifestation.
Master manifester.
Right? Master manifester. I've reached that upper level. Am I done?
No.
Uh-oh.
No. You're never done, right? Until breath leaves this vehicle. Because the goal is ascension. The goal is to raise your light quotient, meaning to get lighter and lighter and lighter. Let the more of the world fall away, let the more stress fall away, the more physical weight fall away, and fall into a place of energetic frequency, right? So Bliss Life is about learning to live life in between the frequency, right? To ride that wave of flow, to be in the flow state. Always, or as much as possible. 70 to 80% of your life should be in the flow state. That 10% is us being human. That 10% is when you want to go have a cocktail.
Yes.
That 10% is when you want to go to the club. That 10% is when you want to go shoot pool. The 10% is when you're on vacation and you wild out. That's the 10%. But the 90, 80, 70 needs to be an intentional life. Meaning the way that your home is, the intentional living, the people that you have in your life, the people that your wife, your spouse, your children, that connection, all of that should be as intentional as possible. And the only true way to get there is through clarity. You know, is through being on point, being in tune with what it is that you're desiring and wanting to call into your life. And so it's never over.
And what happens if I just was to stop? What if I just stopped?
I mean, you don't necessarily revert back. Hopefully you've done enough work, but you will stop seeing things, you know, coming into your life as quickly as possible, right? So the reason for staying in the flow, and how do you know you've made it, is when life is now on autopilot. It's coming to you. You're getting favor at the gas station. You're getting favor at the store. You're getting favor when you buy tickets. You're getting favor, you're VIP just because they know you or your energy or they see you. Like when you don't have to introduce yourself when you walk in a room anymore.
That's when you made it, honey.
That's when you've made it energetically, and you're speaking for yourself, because my etheric body expounds further beyond just what you see. That is your aura. So when you come in contact with my energy body, it's introducing me before me, because you feel me. So when you've made it is when people come into your energetic field and they feel safe and they feel secure. And they want to know you, and they want to have a conversation with you. When favor comes your way, when people acknowledge you, when they acknowledge the work that you're doing, when they see you, right? That's when you've energetically made it.
Or when I hear people talking about that, like their energy gets there before they even get in there, right?
When you go into an environment, you can feel it immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Right? When you come in contact with people, certain experiences, certain opportunities. Some are like, that's an opportunity. Yeah. Another is someone's being opportunistic.
Yes.
Right? Being able to read the energy. And so it's who we are. It's very important. And so raising that light, is it ever over? No. Because the whole journey of being in this vehicle, in this body, of experiencing myself as human, is raising my light, raising my energetic body. The more work that I do, the longer that I do it. That's why monks live in that state of meditation, of samadhi, their whole life, direct consciousness with source, right? The more you build up your light quotient, the more you do your work, the more you try to eat right, do right to other people, have reciprocity of gratitude and good energy, you're expanding your light. You don't want that to ever be over.
Is this selfish? Is the pursuit of the bliss life selfish?
I think you have to be selfish at times in order to obtain it. Yes. But do I call that selfish, or do I call that self-love? Loving on yourself, right? Enough to, I have to be loyal to me more than, I have to love me more than something or someone else, right? So people say spirit, children, yourself. No. Right? I bring life into this world. I bring creation into the world. If I am not here, if I'm not of good mind and space, nothing else. You can't
help anyone around you.
I can't help anyone else. And so that takes a level of self-love. That takes me taking care of myself. And if that's selfish, then
so be it.
So be it.
Yeah.
But the bliss life is about being in purpose, you know, being in tune, being authentic, being true to self, to raise your self-value. The only way to reach higher heights is to really tap into self. So, yeah.
You have to pay attention to self. You got to kind of be a little selfish to rise, to elevate yourself.
Right.
So, what would you, how do you handle those people that are going to look at you like she's selfish, she's always changing, she's always reinventing herself, she's just focused on her own self, or people who just aren't doing the work with you. And it's okay. Everybody's on their own path and journey, right? But how do you handle personal relationships, friendships, co-workers, lovers that fall by the wayside because you're on this path of elevation and they may not be?
Right. I was going to say, those type people aren't in my world. They're probably 10, 15 years behind.
Back there.
Because I've already done the shedding, right? I've already gone through the shedding process. Honestly, 2020 and 2021, people should take that as a blessing, as an opportunity, as a cleansing, as a detox of your etheric, auric body, because you didn't have to be in connection to people anymore.
That's right.
I didn't have to be in your energy grid. I didn't have to be in your space. I didn't have to take in your energy directly. And if I chose to deal with you, I did. But relationships, marriages, children relationships, everyone got to do an inventory of, is this person truly needs to be in my life? Are they getting general admission or VIP? Some people had to be moved in their seating arrangements. Some people had to be let go. But being that this journey, not to say it's lonely, but you're going to lose people. Going to the top of whatever it is, meaning raising your vibration, raising your level, raising your value, you're going to lose people along the way, because everyone comes to their understanding, their self-realization, their self-actualization, their wokeness. Everybody wakes up at a different time.
That's right. Yeah.
You may not be in my time. That's why I everyone desires love. I desire alignment. Are we flowing in the same energetic space?
That's
are we going in the
profound.
same alignment? Are we on the same frequency? If not, then you got to go anyway. Whether I directly remove you or indirectly the spirit removes you, you're gonna fade to black.
So would you say this is a lonely path?
It can be, but for a period of time, right? So I like to say 7 years. Usually 7 years of marination, 7 years of maturation, of you owning who you are, knowing who you are, making the life changes, the lifestyle changes, and that be what you take in, what you see, what you touch, what you taste, what you feel, what you entertain, relationships and people you entertain. It's going to take a bit of years to shed those things, to actualize and understand some of those things, and people have to go to adjust, to recalibrate, to control, alt, delete your life, and then fall into the flow of who you are. That takes a period of time. And sometimes it can be lonely. Sometimes you could have been lonely before, and now you've got a tribe of people who are, shining the light and bringing you into the light. So it just depends on what your path is. But I don't think that any of us who have truly tapped into spirit are ever lonely. Yeah. Because we're good with us.
I agree completely. I do. And I know that there are some people who purposely dim their light to maintain their circle, right? They're too afraid to lose their life that they know. They're too afraid to lose their friends and their family and ascend too high. And then they end up getting stuck down in this life that may be mediocre. You really have to be bold and brave to take those steps alone, because there may not always be someone with you.
Very true.
And I think some people are more well equipped to deal with that on this planet than others. And but it can be very lonely, right? When you're building like that. I think it is very much so in alignment with Buddhism. I really do, because one of the first things that you're taught in Buddhism is non-attachment. That's right. I don't want to be extreme about it, but it is like, once you really fully embrace that non-attachment, then you never hold and cling to someone. You never want to own them. Listen. And it took me a very long time to get to that point in my life where I'm not feeling like I want to own or cling to people. I'm enjoying them for what they are in my life in that moment, reason or season, as Maya Angelou says, right?
Right. They say, the season of life I'm in is abundance and prosperity, and everything else is just weather. Everything else is just weather. It comes and goes, right? But man, something that you said was so important about the people in your life, and
being afraid to ascend, right?
And being afraid to ascend and dimming your light, right? And so for me personally, I dimmed my light for a very long time, so that the people around me did not feel like they were in the shadows.
Yes.
Right? And that we're all equal and we're all on this journey together. But that is not true.
Yes.
Everybody comes in at different times. And I wanted everyone to win. Right?
At the same time.
At the
You
same
all
time.
come in with me.
Let's go. But if you don't know who you are, if you don't know your value, if you don't know your purpose, if you don't know your contribution to the tribe, I can't help you with
That's
that.
right. Yeah.
That is a soul journey. That is something you do have to come to realization on your own. And so a period of time of being by yourself has to happen. Right? But in that, man, like one of the big reasons why I manifested my transition and moved to Miami is so I could shine at full wattage.
That's right.
Shine at full wattage, because I am not in an energy anymore that people are expecting me to show up as the same person that I was. I'm not even the same person I was at the beginning of you sitting down.
Yeah.
I've already
And it's
transitioned.
expected here.
I've already expanded, right? And so me coming here was I removed the people out of my life. I shed the people out of my life a year to 2 years before I made the transition. And it allowed the space, the opportunity, and the energy for me to give back to myself, for me to tap into what I truly desire. And so did I ever look at that as lonely? No. What I looked at it as was focused. I was tunnel vision, tapped in to what it was that I wanted, but I had to get rid of the noise.
Yes.
In order to do that. And so I appreciated that. I embraced that. I accepted that so that I could shine brighter, so that, you know, you could experience and feel and get to know a Genesis.
Yes.
Right? I had to do that.
And there's that self-exploration part too.
Yes.
It's very difficult when you have the influence of other people around you.
Right.
At least I find difficulty in that. You know, I find just naturally as a human, you take on those people around you.
Oh, yeah.
You become them.
Right.
And that's why they say you are the sum of the closest five people to you.
People around you. So that's why they also say you want people who know more than you and, you know, experience more than you and have more than you, so that you can step into their realm. But that's not just financially.
Yes.
That's wealth of mind.
That's right.
Wealth of health.
Yeah.
That's, you know, them knowing who they are. That's 1 degree of separation from greatness. Those are the people that I want around me, and that's the tribe. But they don't even see you, or you don't even attract them unless you're vibrating at a certain level.
I think it was Elon Musk that said, I don't want to be the smartest person in the room.
Right.
That's kind of scary. And now
This is
I'm
why
at that
everybody
place
can't go.
too.
Yes.
I want
Yes.
I want a mentor. I need someone
Yes.
who has ascended. I want someone
Yes.
above me.
Yes.
So that I'm constantly learning and growing.
Sharp,
So, yeah.
still sharp and still. And we're always the student and the teacher, right? There's always someone to learn from, or an experience to learn from, whether it appears to be negative or positive. I carry a gift on my altar, right? A box that has a bow and it's gift wrapped, and there's nothing in it. To remind myself, there's
symbolism.
a gift. There's a gift in everything.
That's it.
Depending on how you perceive it, there's a gift in everything. It's divinely coming to me. I'm attracting that to me for some reason. And so, you know, being in the simplicity of life enough to catch those moments, to have enough residual grace built up to move you through those moments, so that things aren't triggering you into a negative space to where you're reacting to
And
life
spiraling down.
and spiraling instead of sitting in your seat of creation and of godliness, of goddessness, and creating. And
Yes.
so to be aware of self, to be aware of surroundings, to be aware of the people around you who you're interacting with is so important. And sometimes you have to lose family. You have to lose friends.
Yeah.
You have to remove coworkers and maintain personal relationships. You have to set healthy boundaries in order for you to get to where you have to go.
And it's sad, but nothing is permanent. That's the
Listen.
reality of life. Nothing is permanent.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
what is one thing that you can offer to people as a way to help move them closer to their goals and to their bliss life?
Right. So control what you can control. Right. And what you can control is
Yourself.
is yourself. Where your thoughts, energy goes where thoughts flow. Right. And so what are you thinking about? What are you doing? Give less and less time to social media, less and less time to toxic relationships and toxic people. Get your body right, get your health in order. Fast, detox, tune in, cleanse, and really get together with your thoughts and what it is that you want for your life, because we don't have 5-year plans anymore. We have 5 months.
That's right.
We have 5 week. We have 5 day. We're living almost 10 years in one
It's
day.
in the immediate.
And so it's not about the long term of, you know, what do you need and desire for your life. It's what can you do right now. And so getting to your place of peace, tuning into yourself, finding out what you can do away with, whether it's minimizing financially, minimizing people, minimizing negative energy, minimizing negative habits. Control what you can control, and start to do a self-inventory on how can I make myself better? How can I make my life better immediately?
Okay. I like that advice. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Start eliminating the negative.
Right.
Or things that don't serve you, right? Because what's negative and what's positive.
Right.
So what's next for Bliss Life? What's next for you?
So Bliss Life is expanding, right? So we moved into the Miami market. I like to call it the island of Miami,
Yes.
South Florida, closer to the Caribbean. So what's next for Bliss Life is we're going to do astrology speed dating, right?
I love that.
So you've heard of eHarmony?
Yes.
Now you're going to be introduced to Soul Harmony.
Oh, that is so
Right?
fabulous.
Because it's attracting who you desire, what you want into your life, and we're put here to love. We're put here to exchange energy. And so there's a lot of people out here who are looking for someone. But they're being met with superficial, non-substance, 85ers of thought, mind, and deed. And they're trying to figure out, where's my person? Everyone deserves a person. And instead of just coupling up, because the rent is high, yesterday's price is not today's price, whether that be rent or what you owe me, then people are, we don't want you to couple for the wrong reasons. So let's get into some speed dating and find out that everyone in the room is wanting what I want. So Bliss Life Soul Harmony is coming forward with that here in the Miami area.
Love that. I'm there. I'm there.
We're going to have, drink specials based on astrological design. You get your chart reading done. You may get a psychic reading while you're there. There'll be vendors who are supporting the movement and the energy of what we're doing, and let's have a good time.
I think this will be great even for people who don't live here, because this is a very transitory town, so we've got people from all over the place, and it's nothing but a thing to move across the country for somebody that you love. So I think that's great. I'm just keep us posted on when this is going to be. I can't wait to help you out with it and be there for you. So I think it's a fantastic idea.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh my gosh, yes. We're there. So tell me, how can people contact you? What would you like to share about your information, and how they can reach you if they're looking for coaching?
Well, there's only one of me. So at Genesis Samadhi on any social media platform, Instagram, Facebook, directly, to me, and that's AGENISZ.
I'll put that on the screen for you guys and in the description.
SAMADHI. A Genesis Samadhi _ Bliss Life on Instagram, a Genesis Samadhi on, again, Google. You'll find me on all social media platforms. Again, we're going to be doing the Soul Harmony astrology speed dating. There's a Bliss Life book that's coming. We're going to do some more virtual classes and Goddess of Workshop classes. And my sons are now, coming into the age of being kings. And so loyalty to your lineage is something that my son is bringing out. About remaining, true to your roots and being a king. We talk about goddesses and the women, but the kings, they have something to say too. And so, Bliss Life has a lot going on in 2022. So, a Genesis on all platforms. You'll find me.
I'll make sure that I put that. And if you guys have not visited her social media, it's so inspiring, so motivating, and also fantastic to look at. I mean,
I try.
So, and we so look forward to everything that you're doing. I know it's going to be interesting. I mean, look at how this woman's place is. Come on. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for being with me and for taking this time. I so appreciate it. And I'm so glad that you're down here in this paradise.
I love
that
it.
it is.
I love it. I still feel like I'm on vacation every day.
Every day, every darn day.
Thank you guys so much for watching. That was so much fun. Do you have a story about finding your own bliss life? Well, comment down below and I'll catch you on the next one.